Welcome to the Boho Beat. First time here at the Boho Beat. First time on Substack, it sounds like, in general.
First time to do a live. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here. Very happy to have you.
I'm so glad to finally be here. I love you are an incredible writer. You're an incredible communicator. Substack is like the spot for you to be. You know what I mean?
I love
it's
it
made
here.
for you.
I love it here. So I'm so glad you're here. Okay, let's talk to the people. So introduce you. How do we know each other? Give people a little bit. This is not our first meeting on Substack. Okay, who are you to me and who am I to you? Go.
A funny note is we were talking to each other on FaceTime recently when one of my kids was sitting right beside me, my 17-year-old, and he was like, "You and Liz really are the same. Is this like how all founders are?" I was like, "Well, there actually is a type. There actually is a type."
There is a type. Which brings
So
us to a larger thing about if you're looking, look to your competitors. People see their competitors as competitors. I now am, in my story is now completely forever rewired my brain that every person I'm like, oh, they could potentially be competition. I'm like, or a future best friend. Because
it's
the
true.
thing that made them your competitor is because their values, their pace, their vision, their dreams are so similar to you that you're in such a similar lane that you may see yourself as competitors. But now I've realized is that the greatest hack of life is to go like, or actually maybe they're your future best friends because of how similar you are.
And you have so much in common.
So much in common.
Which is part of what we're talking about to you guys today is we used to only have a couple ways where you could be involved at Noonday, which is the company that now Liz is a partner in. So we got to know each other because we were honestly on a very similar journey, very similar hearts.
Well, let's go all the way back. Where did your journey start? What country did your journey start
in Uganda. Yeah.
Okay.
That was our first artist and partner. So I have a business and accessories fashion brand, and our first partners where it all began was in Uganda.
Okay,
and where did your journey start as a social entrepreneur?
Just think about this. Honager and I do not know each other from Eve, okay? We don't know each other, no paths crossed, no similar friends. Independently, she meets this artisan in Uganda, starts a fair trade fashion business. Completely independently, I buy a one-way plane ticket to Uganda to go learn more specifically about the impacts of extreme poverty and conflict on women and girls. And then I start a fair trade fashion company because it feels like the best way to solve this problem. We run side by side, parallel, building these fair trade fashion brands that started in Uganda. Eventually, some years in, we hear of one another. Seiko was selling product to Noonday, vice versa. We're in the same space. And then eventually we came together and we merged our companies and brands. But the fact that we both have an origin story that starts in Uganda
It's wild.
is wild. And for both of us, truly, our lives have completely changed because of those friendships, that Ugandan community. And we are both.
I have been formed. I would say you and I are who we are today because we were formed by our journey running a social impact brand and walking alongside Ugandans and becoming business partners with Ugandans and like really learning from people there.
Yes. And some of our closest friends now are the people that we have met through this journey. And so I just want to say this is not like cause of the day, new trendy cause alert. Jessica and Liz want to invite you to give to this thing that you're going to care about for like 3 months and then probably move on to the next thing. No. Uganda is a home away from home for us. And then even more specifically, there are two communities in Uganda that we as individuals are just like, come what may, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. It doesn't matter what the global climate is doing. It doesn't matter what my business is doing. I am committed to this community of people. For me specifically, that is the Cornerstone Leadership Academy. There's a group of incredibly high potential young women who are just top 5% of female scholars in the country, come from backgrounds of extreme poverty, once you go to this school, which some of you might, okay, and meet these scholars, I think you will feel the exact same way that I did 18 years ago, which is whatever tiny part that I could play in just cheering you on, boosting you forward, giving you rocket fuel to go to college, to be a leader in your community, to create change. Like, I want to be in. I want to be in. These are my people. And that was 18 years ago. And a similar amount of time ago, you had a similar experience in Uganda.
Yeah. Yeah, 16 years ago, I started partnering with vulnerable women. So, Noonday is a really fun fashion brand, and we are anti trafficking by design, and we are a microbank disguised as a fashion brand. So, we specifically work with with women that are really vulnerable to mainly economic disenfranchisement and violence. And so specifically started working with moms that started to learn the craft on how to make our beautiful jewelry. And what we found is that their children were still in vulnerable situations. There's no public school in Uganda, at least nothing you'd want to send your kids to. And they wanted better educational opportunities for their kids. And so what we started to do is through Noonday began a scholarship program. And what I love about the scholarship program is that oftentimes sponsoring kids to go to through school is very common in Uganda. Usually an uncle is sponsoring a niece, and Ugandans are all sponsoring people. Everyone kind of holds up their community. And oftentimes, some of these kids that receive sponsorship are stigmatized. And so, what we found, what actually the leader of the scholarship program found, is if we would just give money directly to the mamas, and then the mamas go and have that dignity of registering their kids for school, of paying for their kids' school, and then they just bring the receipt. And so there's just this really dignified approach. And so not only are they have a job through Noonday, but they also now have the extra support to get their kids not just a basic education, but a good education. And then eventually to go on to be a part of being a university scholar. So I just love how Liz and I coming together really brought this full circle because it's sunrise program. So it's 0 to 12th grade. And then you've got the sunshine program, which is university. And so we really want to walk with people from the beginning all the way through. We've been doing that. Liz and I actually got to go to a graduation ceremony 2 years ago of two women that graduated from high school and then went on to go on to university. And it's just so thrilling to get to be a part of something tangible, meaningful, and for the long term. Like you said, not a flash in the pan, no compassion fatigue, because we're in it. We're in it. There's no question that we're not in it. And that's why we started.
The Noonday Collection Giving Club. Okay, so historically, for the last 18 years, if you were to meet me and I am going on and on about these scholars in Uganda, and you're meeting Honegger and she's doing the same, and you go, I want to be a part of something like that. You have so much. I think something that people see in us is just like the joy and passion that we have from giving. That it's like, this is not an ask. This is not a burden. This is not a sacrifice. This is like, there is very cool work and hope and energy happening across the world. And like, we get to be friends and we get to be a part of that. And we get to share in both the burden and the joys and them and us. Like, we're not asking anybody to do people favors. We're like, so we've both had people approach us and be like, I want what you have. I want that passion. I think people are very drawn to the long-term dedication. Like, I think
Mhm.
that is where compassion fatigue can start, where it's like, today it's this problem and today it's that problem. And you just like give
Yeah.
money and then you don't really think about it. Whereas we've both taken a very different approach in our life. Like, we have things like that we give to, but going like, for me, a good, beautiful, passionate, meaningful life is like, I want to be in stuff for the long haul, not just when
Mhm.
it's trendy and not just when other stuff people are talking about it, but I want it to be about relationships and about
Mhm.
community. And I want to build community around supporting communities. And for the last
Yes.
18 years, we've done that. But
Yeah.
there's been only really one very narrow path to joining us, and that has
Mhm.
been buy our product or sell our product. Buy our product
Mhm.
or sell our product, and you are automatically a part of this community and you're a part of contributing to it, which is amazing. And that's still an amazing way to support these scholars is to buy our product and talk about our product, share our
Mhm.
product with your people. But as of today, we are launching an entirely new path that is a direct giving model. So when you give through our giving club, literally, except for the actual processing fees that, you have to have online, a couple percentage points, everything else, 100% minus a couple percentage points for processing, is going directly to our community in Uganda and directly to funding either elementary, high school, or college age scholarships. So it's just a direct giving path. And you still then become a part of the community. In our dream world, like, yes, we will take your money. If you just want to go online right now and give us however much money you want to give us and then leave, okay, we'll take that. Don't worry. But what we really want, our heart's desire, is to find a group of women that are basically like us. They are
Yeah.
women who love the world, who are girls. We want to show up for other women across the globe. We want to do it with
Yes.
our finances. We want to do it with our encouragement. We want to do it with our resources. We just want to be together and build relationship and support one
And how
another.
are we doing that, Liz? Because this is so like us to be completely extreme from the get-go.
Yes. So we don't want you to just like see a picture every now and then of the scholars that you're supporting. We want to find a group of women who want to join the giving club. You can give monthly, you can give a one-time donation once a year. You want to be a part of another community of women. And if you happen to be a nut job like us and you can't just do anything low key or simple, I want you to come to Uganda with me next summer. I want you to come to Uganda with me next summer. We are bringing together a group of women that ideally are a part of this giving club to go like, okay, hey, you gave $20 a month or you gave us $5,000, whatever it is. We want you to come see the impact of your work. I want you to meet these scholars. I want you to meet these entrepreneurs and be inspired. Obviously, I want to take you on safari and show you the best, most beautiful parts of Uganda. And then
It's my favorite
thrilling,
place in the world. Liz and I have been
I
all over the world, but this spot in Uganda is just special.
special. I'm just going to say, it's going to sound crass, but you've never sat on a toilet and seen a more stunning view at the safari lodge that we're going to take you to. Okay, you're going to sit down to go to the bathroom in the morning and you're going to look out on an African savanna and then there's going to be fresh coffee waiting for you. Like this
Uh,
again, this is not like
y'all, it's magical.
this is not a be a good person thing. This is like a meet your people, have fun, and also, yes, be a good person.
And to have an embodied experience, you're going to get to make things, make jewelry. You're going to get to be creative. You're going to get to connect. You're going to get to meet some of these amazing kids and women that you are coming alongside. And you get to be with Liz, which I don't know. There's nobody I like to travel with more than Liz. We're due. We're due for a trip.
Okay, and the cool thing is I really hope also that the like group of women, I mean, there's nothing that binds a group of people together like an adventure and being
Ugh.
a part of something that is bigger than yourself. In fact, for my book that I'm working on, I had a writing day yesterday. And so I was doing a bunch of research and I found some very, very cool, compelling research around supercharged friendships, the specific type of friendships that bind us together and that have the most positive impact on our sense of fulfillment, well being, mental health are friendships that combine two things. They are close friendships, but they are close friendships that happen within a broader community that is values or belief based. So when you can go, I believe in this thing, which for me is like, I believe that Ugandan scholars, every child, but for us, Ugandan scholars, no matter where you were born, no matter the color of your skin, no matter how much money your parents made, that these women deserve the opportunity to learn and to lead. And that our world will be better if these women are learning and leading, and that my life will be better if I get to come alongside of them. That is this belief that I have banked so much of my life on. If you share that belief and then find a dozen other women that also share that belief, and then we all go do that thing together and we have this experience, that is how we supercharge community and relationships. And so my hope for this trip and for this giving club is not just that there's a group of women here in the US that's making this incredible impact, but that together we're finding one another and we're building community and connection and real relationship around this belief that we all share.
And I think what is so powerful is that we know that we all go through different economic times in our lives. Sometimes there's abundance, sometimes we're like really watching, oh, I can't go to Starbucks this month. But no matter where you're at, when you give collectively, all ships rise together. And so there's something so powerful about a giving community where we're actually bringing all of our resources together. Some people have more resources than others, but it's a collective impact. And so you can join at 3 different levels, and you just go to Noonday Giving Club. Just Google Noonday Giving Club. It's the first thing that comes up. Just put Noonday Giving Club. You can do $25 a month and you can be a flourisher, and we'll get you a sticker. We'll get you some merch. You join our Facebook community. You can be a builder at $100 a month. We'll get you a hat. We'll get you some merch. You can be part of community, or you can join at $200 a month, and you will be the very first person to get to sign up to go on a trip. We know these trips are going to sell out. We know that they are already so in demand because we've been taking you people to Uganda for years. And trust me, the way when you get to walk among giraffe. I mean, if that doesn't make you want to sign up, I can't. Maybe this isn't for you.
If doing a bougie safari, meeting the most incredible women in the world in Uganda, and then doing that alongside a group of like-minded, supportive, adventurous women here, if that actually doesn't sound good to you, yes, you can navigate away and go find another place on the internet. If that does sound good to you, I also just wanted to tell you, when you're in, you're in. If you're giving it $25 a month, at $200 a month, or if you are somebody who has given us a incredible, generous thousands of dollars, doesn't matter. You are in. Once you are in, you are in, and you are a part of the community. And so truly, if you are in a season where you're like, I only have a little to give, great. Because when you give a little, but then there's a group of us giving what we can, the impact that we can create really is enormous. We have funded so far. We just launched the Giving Club a couple weeks ago. We have funded 13 scholarships, and our goal is to fund 32 more scholarships. Again, this is a direct path to giving. You give through Noonday Giving Club, except for the processing fees, 100% of that gets sent straight to Uganda and straight to the scholars that we are supporting.
Our friends. It's,
Our friends.
You're stepping into legacy. You're stepping into legacy. You're coming alongside vulnerable women who would do anything to see their kids get a better education. You're coming alongside the smartest of the smart in Uganda to ensure that they get to go to university. And it's just thrilling to be a part of this. Even if you don't even know where Uganda is on the map, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you think, hey, I can use the opportunity I've been given to create economic and educational opportunity for other people around the world. And honestly, I went to Kenya when I was 15, and I met a little girl, and that was the first time I was publicly educated. I went to a really awesome public school growing up, and that was the first time I learned that public education, first of all, in East Africa costs money. So even if you're going to public school, you still pay for uniforms, pay for books, etc. And many of these public schools are so deeply under-resourced. I went to go visit a public school, just popped in because I was in Uganda, and I was like, let me actually see the contrast between what our scholars are getting, the kind of education they're getting, and what just random kid is getting. I walked in, it was a little one room filled with kids, and there was no teacher. Like, the teacher was nowhere to be found. And so I'm
And I
painting this
contrast
picture for
that to, like,
you.
if you come on this trip with us next summer, we're going to take you. I'm going to take you to this leadership academy. You're going to walk on this campus. You're never going to want to leave.
No.
It is magical. It is energetic. It is community. It is connection. They were ranked the #1 school in Uganda. And this is like girls from extreme poverty who by their test scores are beating the like ritzy, fancy private schools where all of the ambassador kids go, all of the like international business people, their kids go to the school. This school outranks them. And so you can just imagine like what that feels like, the energy to be around these girls who have overcome things that are so beyond anything I will ever experience in my life, who are so resilient, who see one another as their like collective scaffolding that actually makes their dreams for the future possible. I was just at Global Leadership Summit last week and Arthur Brooks spoke, gave an incredible talk. And one of the things that really the whole point of his talk was he's a Harvard professor. And he was talking about how for the last 30 years, he has asked college students, what is a value you have? What is a belief that you have that you would be willing to sacrifice or maybe even die for? And that the number of students, the majority of students had an answer for that of just like, this is something I believe so much in, I would be really willing to sacrifice for it until about 15 years ago. And about 15 years ago, he started seeing that number drop and drop until eventually it was reversed. Instead of it being the majority, now it's a minority of college students. And his whole thesis is that to have a good, fulfilling, meaningful life, we have to have a purpose. Like we
Yeah.
have to have a vision for something that is bigger than
Mhm.
ourselves. And he
Mhm.
would really attribute so much of what's going on in our culture, loneliness, isolation, mental health
Mhm.
crisis, to this loss of meaning and purpose,
Mhm.
and that we've
Mhm.
become so self-focused. And so I just want to say, if you are in a season and you're listening to that and you're like, you know what? And he did say, he's like, outside of your family, everyone would die for their kids for the most part. You know, we're talking
Right.
about something that has to be kind of bigger than your nuclear family. And I just want to invite you to say, maybe you've had that at one point in your
Mhm.
life and you've lost touch with it. Maybe you've never had it. Maybe you have had it and you currently have it and you know how life changing it is. And you're like, I want more of that. Wherever you are in your journey, I guess I just want to humbly invite you to say, like, we found that. Like, we have
Yeah.
that thing that we will care about for the rest of our lives.
Mhm.
And it has made our lives so much richer and more
Mhm.
bigger and more passionate and more joyful. And we've met our favorite people through this shared
Mhm.
meaning and
Mhm.
purpose. And so if you want that, this is us just going, will you join us? Like sit at
Noonday
this table
Giving
with
Club.
us. Sit at
Noonday
this table
Giving
with
Club.
us.
Google it. Google it.
Google the Noonday Giving Club.
Sit at the
Once
table
you
with
give,
us.
you're in. We can
You're in,
travel
baby.
together.
Yeah.
You can join us in our Facebook
We're going to have
community.
scholars get on the Facebook community and share more about their lives. We're going to give you updates. We're also going to talk about fashion and community. It's the Noonday Collective Facebook group, and it's where we're just gathering around, doing good, living lives of adventure, and living lives of purpose ultimately. And that is what Liz and I are so both passionate about is how do we build a community that is supercharged around purpose? And so we do that through Noonday and creating economic opportunity. And we do that through creating educational opportunities for kids in Uganda and hopefully eventually all over the world. And we want you to be a part of that.
All right. So go to just Google Noonday Giving
Just
Club.
Google.
You have any questions, DM me here, comment on this live, send me a Instagram message. You can do the same to Jess. And if you decide to join, please also message me and let me know because we would
Yes,
love
let us
to
know.
personally welcome you to the Noonday Giving Club. Hot off the press, you will be a founding member of the Noonday Giving Club. We are about a little less than a third of the way through our goal, and we want to keep this momentum up. And
they get a cute trucker hat too at a certain level. And
at
that was all you,
$100, at
Liz.
$100 you get a hat.
Yeah.
$100 a month you get a
Yeah.
hat. $25 you
It's
get the
cute.
sticker. Okay.
It's
All
real
right.
cute.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Please consider joining us in the club. We would love to meet you, know you, love you, travel with you, and do really cool stuff together
We'll
with
make
whatever resources, time, money, energy that you have to give in this season of life. As our friend, our mutual friend in India, an incredible woman, maybe one of the most incredible people I've ever met, named Moon. She's kind of has this iconic line in our community where she says, remember the ocean. A drop does a lot. The entire
mhm.
ocean is actually just made up of an infinite number of tiny little drops. A drop can do a lot. So
A
don't
drop can do a
discount
lot.
what is possible when you come with whatever it is you happen to have in this season. And we hope you'll join our club.
Thanks for joining the club, guys. Thanks, Liz, for having me on your beloved Substack space. I have a feeling this won't be the last time.
I have the same feeling. So Mind meld. Here we go. All right. Love y'all.
Love
Bye.
y'all. Bye.